Hi everyone, I'm Mark Ryckman, the Manager of Policy with the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters. The 2018 moose tag allocations have just been released, and many of you, I'm sure, are disappointed, as I am. I sit on the Big Game Management Advisory Committee with a couple of other OFAH reps and some other reps from other provincial hunting organizations, and every year we get an opportunity to review the draft moose tag allocations and make recommendations. And this year, more so than in previous years, I'm beginning to wonder if the provincial government is even interested in having meaningful consultation with moose hunters. The committee made several recommendations, some of which were actually incorporated that the MNRF did take into account and change. But by and large, the small gains that we made are completely overshadowed by some significant tag reductions in other areas. I can't get into specifics, unfortunately, due to confidentiality. But to be clear, there are some wildlife management units where populations are declining and tag reductions are entirely justified. But there are also moose populations in the province that are increasing, and oddly enough, tags are still being reduced in those areas. So that's an area of concern. A couple of other areas of concern for the OFAH. There doesn't seem to be any consistency in the way that different regions manage moose between the Northwest, the Northeast, and the Southern region. Different regions they use different methods to account for calf harvest every year, and they're targeting different minimum bull-to-cow ratios in the population, for instance, and several other differences that we noticed and have been noticing for the last few years, and are beginning to become a significant concern. The committee identified several units where the tourist industry isn't using their entire harvest allocation, and we were hoping to convince the government to reallocate, even temporarily, if that's the case, reallocate those hunting opportunities to resident hunters. But so far, the MNRF is unwilling to do so for some reason. There are still units in the province where the tourist industry allocation is higher than the resident allocation due to the 1-year time lag that exists in the timing of when we review those draft moose tag allocations. And I recognize that some of, maybe upwards of a third of those hunting opportunities are actually utilized by resident hunters that are using the services of a tourist outfitter. But we have to be careful not to turn moose hunting into a rich person's game. We'll continue, the OFAH will continue to be involved in this process, and we'll do our best to ensure that the MNRF is hearing the concerns of moose hunters and, at a bare minimum, giving them due consideration when they're making decisions as they relate to moose management, not just tag allocations, but moose management in general. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call here in the office or shoot me an email. Thanks for now. Signing off.